Hey guys, this is Daniel Hutchins, and we are back for another live stream. We're a live stream from our friend CBR. Yes, CBR, Comic Book Resources. Okay, so we're going to be talking more Godzilla news. Okay, more Godzilla news. Scientists name a strange sea worm species after a Godzilla villain. Okay, so researchers named out a branching sea worm found in sea sponges off the coast of Japan after Godzilla's most deadliest multi-headed foe, King Ghidorah. Now, if you remember King Ghidorah from Godzilla, then you're in for a treat because this is interesting, guys. Because this is 44 minutes ago this was posted. Scientists and researchers have named a newly discovered sea worm after Godzilla's most fiercest enemy. Now, as reported by Live Science, this bizarre new worm is notable for having one head and multiple branching rear segments, which can detach and regenerate. Researchers have said that from university in Göngen from Germany have discovered this microscopic beast in the waters off coastal Japan, inspiring them off the species we know, King Ghidorah. Yeah. So King Ghidorah is branching fictional animals that can regenerate if lost ends. So we thought this was an appropriate name for the new species of branching worms. And evolutionary biologist and lead authors of the research team has results which were published in the scientific journal Organisms, Diversity, and Evolution are available open sources. Okay, so the King Ghidorah has three heads. They may differ in terms from which end branches, though, but there are multi heads, species found in nature. Extremely rare instances or individuals, or dependent on your philosophy, multiple individuals in one body, which can be born with multiple heads as a result of genetic mutation, especially seen in reptiles, snakes, and other creatures as well, which may also explain why multi head serpents frequently pop off in myths, various cultures around the world, such as Japan. Okay, the original creator of Godzilla took inspiration from both the Hydras and the Greek mythology of the eight-headed snake god of Japanese lore when he originated the deadly villainous King Ghidorah in 1964's movie Ghidorah, the Three-Headed Monster. This name Ghidorah is a Japanese pronunciation of the Russian pronunciation of Hydra. Okay, see the connection? King Ghidorah is found in the stomachs of particular species of a sea sponge. Its branching rear ends detached with independently swim away as part of reproductive systems. Now, King Ghidorah then regrows and branches the restart cycle, and then even can grow new ends from damaged segments of its body, can result in creepy asymmetry that gives off a creature some sort of monstrous appearance. They said that King Ghidorah is a microscopic organism that lives entire lives in sea sponges, while its namesakes of hundreds of feet tall and has penchanted for trying to eradicate humanity. King Ghidorah has appeared in 8 Godzilla movies made by Japanese production company Toho Co. Ltd., which is always as an antagonist and serious threat to both Godzilla and humans. Now, Toho has also licensed the rights to Legendary Pictures for the use of the MonsterVerse, shared cinematic universe. Now, most recently, King Ghidorah made his ninth multi-head appearance battling Godzilla in the 2019 Godzilla, the King of the Monsters, while his consciousness has controlled over Mechagodzilla from 2021's Godzilla vs. Kong. So that's pretty interesting. But the Monsterverse and Toho's classic Godzilla library you can see on HBO Max. Let me know your thoughts about that and if you think it's cool. We're gonna go to CBR exclusives and see if there's anything cool from there. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. They should have updated it since the last time I was on. Okay, so now we are gonna be talking about some other stuff. Now, we're just trying to find stuff. Uh, okay. Okay, so an epic Star Wars cover has the artist Chris Sprouse bring fan favorite Mandalorian characters to the comics. This is exclusive because the Mandalorian's characters make their Marvel debut on Chris Sprouse's variant cover for March's Star Wars number 21. This is a couple days ago. Okay, Comic Book Resources presents an exclusive first look at the artist Chris Sprouse's Lucasfilm 50th anniversary variant cover of March's Star Wars number 21, written by some friends as well. Now, the cover notably features the Marvel comic debuts of Keel and IG-11, who were standouts in season 1 of Disney Plus Mandalorian. However, noted that while these anniversary covers are intended to celebrate characters across the Star Wars galaxy, neither Keel nor IG-11 feature in the story itself. Interesting. So Keel played again and debuted in Mandalorian. The character also is aided by a Ugnaught and Din Djarin throughout the first season. Before being killed to save Grogu, many fans have still remembered I Have Spoken catchphrase. IG-11 similarly debuted in the first episode of Mandalorian, lending the voice to the bounty hunter droid. There's originally been an antagonist of sorts. They have reprogrammed IG-11 to be more docile. After healing Din from life-threatening injuries, he sacrificed himself to save Mando and Grogu. Okay, so let me know your thoughts about that. That's pretty cool. So Star Wars number 21 coming out pretty soon. So Star Wars number 21 is coming out on sale and by Marvel Comics on March the 2nd. So if you go to a comic book store, ask about Star Wars number 21, March the 2nd, and you can pick up a special copy that talks about characters that were from The Mandalorian. Okay, so let me know your thoughts about that. I think that's pretty cool. So let's keep going. There should be some more on here. Okay, we're going to be talking about why Batman and Catwoman are destined to be together. Okay, so why Batman and Catwoman are destined to be together. This new origin story for Selina Kyle shows why she was always destined to be by Batman's side. This is 2 days ago. Okay, when it comes to iconic comic book romance, Batman and Catwoman remain at the top of this list for most well known couples in popular culture. Part of what makes this romance so endearing is the aesthetic similarities between the two animal themed persona. Also, sometimes stand on different sides of the law. Deeper than this, the intrinsic bond the two have shared throughout the comics and their status as orphan children have learned at a young age how to survive in the messed up world we live today, without the guidance of a family to fall back from. So Batman and Catwoman special number one. Yeah, Batman and Catwoman special number one has highlighted these given off of fresh angles of the history of these two characters, as we've seen the young Selina Kyle as a kid developing feelings for Bruce Wayne. This was going back, way back before the two have ever met face to face. That's really interesting. Okay, so the special opens up with a homeless man drunken, singing Carol Silent Night while an alley cat stumbles onto a baby Selena Kyle. They've been discarded in a dumpster. The story then flash forwards a few years later during Selena's time in the Wayne home for orphan children, where she's began to a, take an interest of young Bruce Wayne, standing beside his parents while drawing a picture of a cat for him. This goes on for a number of years. She also spoke to this in the morning after the death of Bruce's parents. She's also told this to Bruce that she was sorry for what has happened and that she also does not have a mom and dad and hopes that she and Bruce could become best friends. Okay, so you get what I'm saying so far? They want to become best friends. Okay, this new addition to the origin of Catwoman makes sense, especially since an alternative future of Batman and Catwoman, which sees Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle eventually marry and raise a family. Okay, so introducing Selena to Bruce at a young age also has established how the two orphans have almost destined to be together, with filling in the holes left in each other's parentless childhoods. This theme is present in the special, which also gives us a reader a glimpse of how this timeline will pan out for showing us the eventual deaths of the parents of Bruce and Selena. Okay, so let me know your thoughts about that. I think it's pretty cool. So even outside this specific timeline, the addition to the origin story is also very true to the core iteration of Bruce and Selena's relationship. At the heart of both of their respective mission and the fact they are both orphans who struggle to survive in Gotham without the guide force of a family, whilst Bruce would find purpose in his mission to save Gotham and travel the world to master a skill required to become the Batman. Selena was forced to stay in Gotham and had to learn her cat burgling and combat skills by herself, to use her own wits to survive during being born into poverty. Despite her hardships, however, Selena has a certain enjoyment in life and emotional stability in the odds of Bruce's stoicism and eternal focus for protecting Gotham, with her nonchalant demeanor helping him move away from his rage and his obsession. Okay, despite their different backgrounds, both knows the struggles and loneliness that comes with not growing up with a family, and thus having the kinship and would naturally lead to this romantic relationship, highlights the theme early in both these characters' childhoods, helps to establish why Bruce and Selena have such a connection to each other and how they fill the void in each other's lives, and help get a deeper understanding of why relationship is one of the most complex, thematically rich romances of all pop culture. Okay, guys, so let me know your thoughts about that. I think it's really cool. So let's keep going. There's probably more. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the Punisher. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Punisher. Yeah, the Punisher co creator understands why the military personnel embrace the skull logo. Okay, so the Punisher co creator, Jerry Conway, says he can see why the Punisher logo has become popular in the military, referencing the former U.S. Navy SEAL Chris Kyle. Okay, this is pretty cool. This is yesterday. So, Jerry Conway, the co creator of Marvel's Punisher, has spoken against the iconic skull logo being used by law enforcement. Nevertheless, he said this is why they understand why the imagery has struck the chords of U.S. military over the years. We don't think that's the best thing in the world, though, Conway said, in a recent episode of Design Podcast 99% Invisible, now pointing out that much of the skull's popularity has stemmed from association with the late Chris Kyle, who is a Navy SEAL during the Iraq War. But I kind of could see this because the Punisher was yet a sharpshooter in Vietnam. His update look when the Iraq War that you see now is made sense to somebody working in the world. Being a soldier can embrace this. Okay. Kyle, whose story is told in autobiography turned film's American Sniper, has formed has served 4 tours of duty in Iraq and has over 150 confirmed snipe kills. In his book, he wrote, "The Navy has credited me to more kills as a sniper than any other American service member, past or the present." He also explained that he and other men in the unit have adopted the Punisher skull as a mascot of the sorts. "We all thought what the Punisher did was very cool," Kyle wrote. "He righted his wrongs, he killed bad guys, he made wrongdoers fear him. We spray painted the Punisher skull on our Hummers, or body armor, or helmets and or guns. We spray painted it on every building and wall we can. We want people to know we're here and we want to fuck with you." That's good. Despite stating that he could understand this rationale, Conway's added he was unable to emphasize with law enforcement officers, particularly those associated with the Blue Lives Matter movement, now, who have gone to adapt the skull. Now, Conway, who co-created Frank Castle in 1970s with John Romita Sr., said that he saw the Punisher as a violent anti-hero who's worked outside the law because of his failure to bring results. Conway has compared the Punisher to police, saying, "By definition, he is the opposite of what they're supposed to be. He is someone who is outside the law, taking the law into his own hand. So if they're claiming the Punisher as their symbol, they are saying they are outlaws and they are criminals and at the enemies of society. Is that what they really want to be saying?" Okay. Conway has been particularly vocal about reclaiming Frank Castle's skull symbol in the past. In 2020, he organized a Skulls for Justice t shirt campaign to call the artist of color to design clothing featuring the logo. For too long, symbols associate a character we've co created and co opted by forces of oppression to intimidate the black Americans. Now, Conway wrote on a campaign website for the time saying this character and symbol was never intended of the symbol of oppression. This is a symbol of systematic failure of equal justice. It is time to claim this symbol again for the cause of equal justice and for Black Lives Matter. Okay, so let me know your thoughts about that, guys. I think it's really interesting. So let's keep going. Uh, okay, we're going to be talking about Loki. Yeah, we're going to talk about Loki. Loki can be the X Men's greatest ally. Okay, Loki has once amplified his powers to the Omega level mutant. Can the Asgardian trickster be an ally to the X Men? That's a good question, because this is 2 days ago. Iceman is currently one of the more powerful characters associated with X Men, potentially in Marvel Universe in a whole. His ability has recently been showcased to put him in the same power tier as like Thor. And as an Omega mutant, Iceman largely lacks any real limit, capable of holding his own against powerhouses like Fin Fang Foom. Okay, but the first step towards turning Iceman to this kind of figure from the mutant community was the still villainous Loki. Has experimented on him and amplified his powers. The Asgardian villain is one of the reasons Iceman is so powerful to this modern day. But could he be doing something similar to other mutants right now? Well, that's a good question. Okay, Iceman originally had a much harder time pushing out his power, and in his early career has defined limits in his ability. In Thor number 377, Iceman was kidnapped by Loki and part of a plan to gain control to the ice giants. Loki's experiments on the Iceman have further unlocked the true potential of his powers. This has left Bobby unable to properly control his ability. He was unable to fully stop himself from icing up at any point, inadvertently creating glaciers wherever he used his ability. A confrontation with Cameron Hodge and the right has resulted in Iceman being fitted with a power damper, where the sheer scale of his powers meant the belt only reduced his power to the previous limit. It took him to gain control of his ability without the use of the belt. Okay, it all speaks to true potential that Iceman has always had all along. In later years, he would formally fully embrace his true capability, accepting his status as an Omega level mutant. Doing so has made him one of Marvel's most powerful mutants, as well as a vital figure of Krakoa. Now, even before anyone's even recognized this true potential, Loki saw the possibility of unleashing Iceman and his powers. Therefore, there's even a possibility that Iceman true potential was only ever brought to the forefront in the first place because of Loki's machinations. Without him, perhaps Iceman wouldn't wouldn't have been able to get his full potential and growth into the Omega level mutant that he is today. Okay. That begs the question though, could Loki do this again? The role of Omega level mutants has never been far more important, especially since Krakoa has barreled towards potential conflicts with more like Urako. Now, Loki is also far more heroic than he was in his past, willingly to work with other heroes like Miss Marvel and Thor, with occasion arising. It's possible Iceman and the rest of the X-Men could approach Loki to find ways to amplify their power of other mutants similar to how he did with Iceman. Doing so might further unlock actual potential in the mutants from across the mutant nation. Imbuing them with additional possible uses, he could also learn some loyalty from the mutants and gain some allies, which might also have been crucial right now. And the recent attack on Jotunheim has left him enraged with Thor and Asgard. Okay, Loki working with the X-Men on the side could settle out any lingering animosity between Asgardians and mutants and could help elevate the tides with even more mutants in their true potential. With doing so, Loki could help ensure the mutants become powerful enough to take out any enemy and eventually win the prophesied war between them and artificial intelligence and humanity as a whole. It could also set a stage for a host of new mutants to reach the full potential and be a genuine game changer for mutants going forward. Okay, okay. So again, guys, let me know your thoughts about that. Um, I just finished up Iron Man 2 on Disney Plus again. So I'm just hanging out. I'm also have Hulu playing on my PlayStation 4. Uh, right now I'm just hanging out. Yeah, right now I'm just hanging out. It's only like almost 10:30. So I don't know if I'm gonna stay up late or not. I don't know. I guess it depends on what else is going on. So yeah. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna wrap up this live stream. We're already 24 minutes going into 25 minutes in this live stream. So again, let me know your thoughts about what I've talked about. And if you have any comments, please leave them down below the comments. You have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you guys for more in a later time. Bye.